Guys, something isn't right about those text messages that Andrew Wilson posted. Now, I'm not saying that they're fake, not going there at all, but there's a few things that we need to talk about. So let's get into it.
Nikki in the building, baby. Nikki in the building, baby. In Cahoots podcast. Yeah. I keep God first, that's real. True crime on the table, facts on steel. Investigations, I chase that trail. If the story don't add up, I set it straight, no fail. I spot fake tears, I spot lies. Sketchy little moves, I see through the disguise. I'm fair, I'm funny, I bring that light. I call you out, then I'll still be polite.
Welcome back to another episode of In Cahoots Podcast. My name is Nikki. Before we get into the video, I ask the same thing every single time. Please don't forget to hype the video for me. Thank you to those that do it. I truly appreciate you guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to comment, like, share the video, turn on your notifications. And of course, if you would like to support the channel in any way, you can always click that join button to become a member. All right, you guys. So I'm going to need you guys to hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Obviously, everything I'm going to say in this video is alleged. It's of my opinion. But I think that I kind of look at this entire text message thread from Charlie Kirk and his security team. I am looking at that a tad bit differently than a few other creators. So it looks like the person that he is speaking with says, yes, law enforcement has been fully supportive and has agreed toy security plan and posture. I mean, there's a lot of typos here, so yeah. Tomorrow's event will be covered by both my team and Campus PD. If additional support is required, patrol units will be available. And then he kind of replies to an earlier message, because you can see next it says, thank you, the threats are higher than ever. And then whoever he's talking to says, I have 11 on site. So then Charlie says, okay, great. Delicately remind them they are there for one person security only. I'm somewhat worried about the left trying to kill me. The other person says, just so you are aware, I will be strict with allowing people in our bubble. Keep that in mind. Bubble. I can't have distractions in there, as we spoke of earlier. We are here for one priority. And then to Charlie saying that he is somewhat, worried about the left trying to kill him, the person says, I've got you. And then it says, I'll do all in my power to make that extremely difficult. I'm sure you've seen that message 1,000 times. But I wanted to read it to you guys because Baron Coleman, he did say that in his opinion, he thinks that he's speaking with Brian Harpole. I 100% agree with that. I definitely think that that's exactly who he's talking to. I told you to keep the word bubble in mind because, in my opinion, that's just kind of an interesting choice of wording. But I did remember in Brian Harpole's interview with Sean Ryan, I remember him saying almost the same thing as that text message. Take a look at this.
Express any concerns about that day.
On that day, for us personally, when you walk in we talk about workup, right? So we start the back workup, and then we're a little different also as far as our guys don't just get to show up. The team goes out and we physically build all of our prevention model. So they don't show up and just see it. They physically build it, and we walk through it each other, and we make sure things are done right. And so our guys are pulling bike racks and putting them together, and they're putting tape up, and they're looking at places all around the bubble that our area of responsibility is.
So for me, watching that clip, it does make me a little bit more confident that my theory is correct, that he's speaking with Brian Harpole and Baron Coleman's correct. I think that is exactly who he's texting back and forth with. And also, there is footage of exactly what he just explained. Here's a photo of his security team doing just that, putting up the bike racks, setting up the tent. That's exactly what Brian Harpole was just talking about. Now, I want you to hear what Brian Harpole says next regarding the safety of where they were positioned.
We don't get to argue with them. We don't get to say, no, but that's it. This is where you have to do it. And then secondarily, Charlie liked it. it wasn't ticketing. You didn't have gates. Regular people showed up, and we had spoke to him about it before. And it's like, man, this is getting dangerous, And his response was, I know. And so it's like, but if you ticket it and you make people jump through hoops to come in or pay or go through magnetometers, and then the people with opposing views don't show up, and then there's no conversation. And when there's no conversation, there's more division. And his goal was to have less division through conversation.
Okay, so Brian told Charlie, this is a bad idea, this is dangerous. Charlie's answer was, I know. So despite all the warnings, Charlie just said, I know, I'm still going out there. Now, like I said in the beginning, I just want you guys to hear me out, so I need you to kind of rock with me, okay? Listen to what Frank Turek said.
I said to him, actually, we were driving in. We had some drone footage from an hour before. And I said, Charlie, I don't like this place. It has too many buildings. But of course, Charlie was brave. He just shrugged it off. He knew there were thousands of people there, and he wanted to minister to them. You cannot minister to people by staying safe all the time. You have to extend yourself in order to do that, in order to minister to people. And so Charlie did that. Every one of those guys.
And that's not the only time that Frank talks about the fact that when they walked in, he told Charlie, oh, I don't know about this, these buildings, I don't like it, this is dangerous. He has said that many times. And then kind of goes back to saying, well, even though I told him it was dangerous, Charlie said, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I want to minister to these kids. I want to spread a message. I want to be out there. So forget all this danger that you guys are telling me about. I don't want to talk about the danger. I want to do all this anyway. Stay with me.
And so I know that, you and I even talked about how I used to say, Charlie, have you ever thought about wearing a vest? He would nod to that and be like, I've looked into it. But he'd always say, if they're going to get me, they're going to get me. He wasn't afraid. Wouldn't have mattered anyways if he wore a vest.
Now you have Erika, his wife, mother of his kids, concerned for his safety. So she always asked him about a vest. Have you ever considered wearing a vest? And as she said, he said, well, if they're going to get me, they're going to get me. He was not afraid. No fear. What I'm starting to gather is that everybody that was supposedly close to Charlie after his passing seemed to be using his dedication to spread a message against him. I'll explain. From those clips that we watched today, what I take from them is that everybody was so concerned about Charlie and his safety. They would say, Charlie, we don't like it here. Frank Turek, I don't like it here. I don't like the buildings. I don't like the way this is set up. This looks dangerous. Brian Harpole telling him, this is dangerous. Like where we're positioned. I don't like this. I don't like that. Erika, she wanted someone to come and be with the family and pray. So I'm assuming she's talking about the priest the night before. Pray with the family. She says she always asks him about the vest. And each one of them, after they voiced how concerned they were, they seem to turn it back around on Charlie as to where it sounds like Charlie is just saying, it doesn't matter. I mean, if they get me, they'll get me. That looks dangerous. Yeah, I know, but I have a message to spread. I find that weird because I don't believe that. Now, again, like I said in the beginning of this video, these are my opinions, okay? But I don't believe that because let's say, for instance, those text messages that Andrew Wilson put out are real. Let's say they're authentic. I think what we all can agree upon is that the day before was stressful, extremely stressful. From what it sounds like on these timelines, it's almost like Charlie Kirk was just getting hit left and right with everything, basically, the day before. Take a look at this.
Thank you for the help today, guys. That's 4:50 p.m. Charlie Kirk time. Thank you for the help today, guys. And then Josh writes back, good luck as the campus visits start. Don't hesitate to let me know or any of us know how we can help. What's your first big stop tomorrow, by the way? Someone said, honored to be of assistance. Charlie Kirk says, Utah Valley University. That's at 8:26 p.m. that he says that. 8:26 p.m. he says, Utah Valley University. And at 8:40, someone weirdly says, say hi to your Antifa friends. And Charlie puts up prayer hands at 8:41 p.m. 8 p.m., I'm somewhat worried about the left trying to kill me. 6:48 p.m. on Telegram. So again, put it in there. Between the text to the Zionist shill group at 4:50, 2 hours later, he says, I'm worried the left is trying to kill me. That was right after say hi to your Antifa friends. On the evening before Mr. Kirk traveled to Utah, he and his wife met for dinner in the Phoenix area with a friend who was a faith leader. The purpose was to pray together over Mr. Kirk's imminent tour of roughly 20 campuses. Both Miss Kirk and the friend were worried.
In my opinion, it just seems to me that the way they want this narrative to go is that Charlie loved what he did so much. The messages that he got to spread, the lives that he got to touch. He loved doing this so much that he put his safety on the back burner. And that ultimately got him unalived. And that's kind of been the narrative that they've been pushing. Charlie died doing what he loved to do, changing lives, bringing people closer to God, spreading these messages. That's been the narrative. Why does it just seem to me like it was actually the other way around in a sense? It seems to me like Charlie was the one that was mostly concerned about his safety. But for some reason, and again, this is my opinion, I think they're trying to push that narrative a little bit too much, and it's starting to look to me as if maybe it really wasn't them that were so concerned about his safety and buildings and where things were located and things like that, vests and all of that. I'm not getting that anymore. What I'm starting to think is maybe it was actually Charlie that was the most concerned. Maybe it was him that was more concerned about his safety. Because if you look at the message from, again, who I think is Brian Harpole, it seems like he's trying to convince Charlie that he'll be safe. And Charlie seems like the one that is more on edge about all of this. The messages that Charlie sent in this thread give a very concerned vibe. He sounds genuinely concerned about his safety and what could happen and if he would be protected. What is the lay of the land? He even, from this reply, thank you, the threats are higher than ever. The dark ones at the bottom, who like I said, I think is Brian Harpole. Just so you're aware, I will be strict with allowing people in our bubble. I can't have distractions in there, as we spoke of earlier. So that means that this has been talked about already. Charlie's concerned. Something is obviously not sitting right with him. And sure, he probably goes through the security measures at every speaking event, but we don't have the text messages from every speaking event. We have these alleged messages leading up to the UVU speaking event. So when the person that he's writing is telling him, as we spoke of earlier, we are here for one priority. That means that this has been already talked about. He's already stressed, I need to make sure I'm the priority. I don't want to die. That is what I'm hearing here. Like, are you sure that you have me? Are you sure you've got my back? I would like to go home to my kids. Are you sure? So when I see things like that, as we spoke of earlier, we are here for one priority. This has clearly been gone over multiple times, and he needs to feel assured. Then he says, I've got you. I'll do all in my power to make sure. That's extremely difficult. It seems to me that it was whoever this person is, you know who I think it is trying to get him there, convince him that it's good. We got you. Let's get you there. Let's bring up Erika Kirk, because this is where my biggest problem lies. Erika Kirk put me in a situation where now I'm confused. Erika Kirk said that Charlie was so excited. Not only did we read the article where Erika and Charlie had their dinner with the spiritual leader, and I assume he prayed for them. Clearly says in that article that Erika and their friend seemed worried. Now, when you're putting it out there in an article like that, in my opinion, that's going to fall where Frank Turek falls and where Brian Harpole falls and others. Because everybody is expressing concern for Charlie Kirk, but Charlie Kirk doesn't seem to be the one concerned for himself, because as Erika said, that Charlie said, if they're going to get him, they're going to get him. So for the article to say that Erika and the friend seemed worried, what you're telling me is Charlie didn't. Because the article does not say Erika, Charlie, and the friend all seemed worried. No, it just says they did. So all of these people around Charlie, they always have their reservations. They don't like the buildings. They don't like what could happen. They don't like positioning. They don't like the fact that he's not wearing bulletproof vests. But Charlie's like, hey, I got to do a speech right now. Erika, when she had her interview with Jesse from Fox, and it was titled In Her Words, in her own words, I believe, Erika made a comment. She said that he was so happy the night before. He just couldn't sleep. Let her tell you.
For him, that night, he was so excited. I mean, he just was like, I can't wait. It's going to be the best. And he got up around 2:45, 3-ish.
He was so excited. He said, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Woo, UVU. So not even a few hours ago at that time, Erika and Charlie had dinner. Erika and the friend they had dinner with was worried. Not even a few hours from that, Charlie's telling someone that he thinks the left is going to try to unalive him. Not long before that, someone is telling him, say hi to your Antifa friends, and he's giving a praying hand emoji. What the heck does he have to be excited about, Erika? What was he so excited to do? He thinks he's about to be unalived. So how is he just jumping for joy and just shaking with glee? Erika Kirk, why didn't you say, we were all very worried about him. We were all very worried about it. Because according to that article, you and that friend were pretty worried. But no, y'all get home and it's a party. He's so happy he's waking Gigi up. So please make that make sense to me. If it makes sense to you in the comments, please let me know. So you're telling me that all of this stuff happened and he's just jumping for joy. He thinks he is going to be taken out by the left. Woo, woo. Oh, I'm so happy to go to UVU. UVU. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I know I kind of went around the world a little bit. And that's why I told you in the beginning to just hang in there with me. But the point of this video is to say that I think not only that there's a alleged cover-up going on, but it's almost like their teamwork effort is showing itself. Why is everybody saying the same thing? Why is everybody saying that they urged Charlie to not do this? Because this looks dangerous. This positioning looks bad. This looks vulnerable. That looks vulnerable. And you should wear a vest. But to all of this concern, Charlie is saying, yeah, I know, that does look dangerous. Hey, if they're going to get me, they're going to get me. It's okay. I got to go spread a message. Everybody is trying to paint that narrative. But then when something comes out, and I don't know if this is a oops or what, but these signal messages, and like I said in the beginning, let's just say they're authentic. When these messages show up and it says that Charlie is saying, I somewhat believe that the left wants to take him out, basically. It's more of a, I got your back. It's going to be fine. I'm going to be strict with our bubble. It's going to be good. You're number one priority. You're convincing Charlie that he's going to be just fine. When Frank Turek and Charlie's entourage walked out of the SUV going towards the campus before he starts throwing hats, Frank does not look worried. Frank looks excited. Frank looks like, heck yeah, I got my phone now. I am doing this and taking pictures. This is amazing. I don't see concern on Frank Turek's face one time in that video where we can see him walking from their SUV all the way to the actual tent. So at what point are you telling Charlie, oh, I don't know, Charlie, this looks like a bad idea. Look at the buildings. I don't like this, Charlie. I don't believe that. This is not making sense. It's not. But somehow they all are able to say, we were so concerned. But he had a message so important that he didn't care what they did to him. But yet we have a message of him saying, delicately remind them that I'm the priority. They're here for one person's security, basically. Like, it's not adding up. He seems genuinely concerned in those messages. So how come everybody else, when they tell the story, tell it as if Charlie was just never ever worried about anything, nothing at all? It doesn't make sense. It's making my brain jumble. But it does look like you people had a sit-down meeting and they were told what to say. They were told what narrative to push. That we tried to warn Charlie, but Charlie, he wasn't having it. We were the concerned ones behind Charlie, but he had a message so strong that he didn't care about his safety. Even though he was allegedly texting the security team about his safety and making sure that the priority was him. It just sounds like they're trying to cover themselves, in a sense. The first thing everybody wants to say is, well, I told Charlie, I said to Charlie, but he didn't listen, basically. But yeah, my brain hurts now. But thank you guys for being patient. Those of you that are still here, thank you for being patient and kind of going through this with me, each clip and everything. Let me know. Hit the comment section. I know that was a lot. Again, I hope you're able to keep up with me. I was barely able to keep up with myself. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you guys for hanging in there with me. Don't forget to hype the video. Hype. Also, don't forget, if you are not subscribed, please smash that subscribe button. Like, share the video. Turn on your post notifications so that you know every time there is a new video. If you want to support the channel, you can always click the join button to become a member. And if you want to donate a different way to the channel, my Cash App and Venmo, they're right there on your screen, along with my social media handles and my email, incahootsmail@gmail.com. Until next time, guys, my name is Nikki. This has been In Cahoots Podcast, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.